We're podcasting.
Hope. Hope.
We're podcasting. It's been a little while since we've been on the couch together.
Oh.
Now, what instrument were you adding there? Just the sound of the wind.
That's a sound that like a friend of mine used to make when he was dancing when we were at discos when we were younger. Go. Be when you were out and you were mad for a shift and a finger and a little bit of debauchery.
A shift and a little finger and a bit of debauchery.
Yeah, and you be 14, 15 type. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 14's when I had my first kiss.
You kissed
a woman, a girl.
Oh, whoa! And then you had your first shag a year later. That's some going.
It's a quick uptick. I'm always on a quick uptick.
Jesus
I don't hang
Christ.
about. It takes me a while to get going, but once I get going,
you fucking fly.
we're off to the fucking races.
Yeah. Did you do your first time? Was that when you were 15? I know we've talked about the fact that you were a young, prodigious lover, but was that a missionary kind of thing, or did you?
We did it 5
Turn
times.
around like a dog.
5 times the first time.
5 times?
Yeah.
When you're 15?
You got that quick 15-year-old reload.
I know, but Jesus, that must have been the...
I mean, the first one was fairly short.
Yeah. It was absolutely... But was there, were you... if you're doing 5 times, or you doing all sorts of different...
A few little bits and bobs.
Were you?
Yeah.
Fair play. God, at 15, I was so far away from riding. It was unbelievable. And you were there going from different fucking angles.
Doing
And
handstands and all.
yeah. Jesus, that's good.
Got straight back into the filth.
Huh? Yeah, well, sure, look, fuck
It's a bit
it.
early in the morning. Although we're in the afternoon now. I got up very early today.
I got up fucking earlier.
What time were you up?
I was up at 20 past 4.
Was that local time or UK time?
20 past 4 in Vienna.
So, but that's like a lion in the UK
Huh?
because of the time difference.
No, it's not. It's like, I think 20 past 4 in Vienna is like, it's either 20 past 3 here or it's 20 past 5. It's an hour a different way.
That's a big difference maker.
Is it?
Yeah, I was up at 7:15 London time. That's inhumane.
How would you?
That's inhumane.
I was landing in
London
the airport
time.
at that time.
The English own time. Did you not know this?
I think they did kind of
Well, this is
colonize time as well, did they?
This is the bizarre thing of all the kind of colonial empires of all time.
Yeah.
Well, kind of the through the annals of history.
The anals. Sorry, go on. Through the asshole of history, yes.
Yes, if we do a deep dive into the asshole of history,
we'll find the G
we
spot of
penetrate
history.
into the asshole of history here. Only one empire have ever tried to colonize the passage of time, and it is the British.
Yeah.
Where it goes, where do we start measuring time from? Greenwich?
Yeah. I know, yeah.
Why?
Just cause
It's not even the middle of London.
I know, but sure, it's not even 2023. Everything's made up, it's just like...
Just up the Craig Comedy Club.
Yeah.
This is where time began.
That's where time began. Kitson's hosting time. Daniel Kitson. No, but everything's made up, isn't it? So it's just like, you make up what year you're in, you make up, how will we measure time? Sure.
Well, I guess it's because there were the Gregorian calendar, are we? But then there's also like different, like the Mayans had a calendar.
Did they?
Yeah, that's why everybody thought they were going to die in 2012. Was that big in your school?
What?
Everybody thought everybody was going to die in 2012?
Well, see, I was well out of school by that stage. I was.
You were out in the world.
I was out earning a crust, doing door to door.
Knife salesman.
I wasn't selling knives. I was doing the opposite. I was selling house alarms to protect you from people with knives.
Were you actually selling house alarms?
I was, yeah. And it was a sordid little business. I had to kind of...
That's the only door-to-door salesman where you break in and go,
yeah,
tell you what you need.
What the hell? What's going on there? Anyway, we'll fix it. No.
Supply and demand, for fuck's sake.
There was
I
a
like
bit
that
of
idea. A door-to-door home security system salesman who just is in your living room and you go, how the fuck do you get in? And he goes, exactly.
Yeah. And now you're thinking, right, sit down, we'll have a chat. Well, funnily enough, there was like part of the sales technique was you kind of did have to
like point out the flaws.
Well, you had to break into their house, but without them, but like you had to like Jedi mind trick them into it. So like the whole thing was you have to get in their house. So you arrive at the door and the first thing you're doing your little spiel. And like, cause immediately their immediate reaction to you is,
No, fuck off,
right off.
please. Yeah,
but
yeah,
then
yeah.
you have to give them your kind eyes, your nice little haircut and your innocent face and your kind of and your genuine concern about the security situation of the neighborhood. And you have a spiel, to make everything make sense. So like the whole thing is we have a promotion at the moment where we want to get 3 of these Aircom phone watch boxes up on different houses in the area as a promotional thing. So we're offering the whole security system at a hugely discounted price. And then you go da 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 da. Of course, as you know, you say Marion.
As you know, such a great selling.
As you know, there's been a huge uptick in robberies and violent crimes and house crimes in the last
because of all the immigrants.
Because of all the immigrants.
Sorry, I've been looking at Conor McGregor's Twitter too much.
You have. Jesus. McGregor's gone.
We'll come back to McGregor.
We'll come back to
sales spiel.
rotten old Connie Mack. But so anyway, you do that, but then this is the real little thing this is the fucking piece de resistance. You say to them, look, I tell you what, I'll come in there now and I'll have a look around and I'll be able to price it for you in 10 minutes. And you literally just take a step towards them as you say it. So you're not asking them, can you come in? You're telling them, I'm going to come in now and do this. And they just go, oh.
As if it's a favour to them.
That's right. And they just, it's just the confidence. They just, all right. Next thing you're fucking in the house, you're taking a big shit in their toilet and, you're whistling old Irish rebel songs. But you go around anyway and then you kind of point out at the back and you go, as you can see yourself now, you're quite vulnerable back here, aren't you? And then they just, everything is just your...
Well, because they want to seem... Like they have knowledge and expertise.
Of course, they've known.
So
I've
it's
been
all
in
that,
here.
as you can see,
yes,
as you well know.
That's right.
You're a smart fella.
100%.
You know how this works.
Yeah.
You weren't born yesterday.
That's right.
You have a sense of these things.
Exactly.
First time I saw you, I thought, this guy knows the crack. This guy knows the crack.
You're no Aegis. Like myself, you're no Aegis.
Yeah.
But so then
you'd be a great salesman.
Oh, yeah. And then you get them down. So then what you need to do then is get them down at the kitchen table. And then what you do is you list out all the prices of everything that everything would cost. And you say, okay, so with the cameras there, and the whole thing set up now, what you're getting for that is you're getting 24-hour surveillance. You're going to get a first responder team, da-da-da-da-da. And then you say, and this is how much it'll cost as a fixed cost. Now, I'm sure you'll agree that that's an unbelievable price for like peace of mind, security. Like you can't really put a price on that. I'm sure you'll agree that that's an unbelievable price. And they go, yeah. And then you go, well, the thing is, if you sign with us this month, and then I go, you actually get it for this, right? And then you go half.
They've already agreed
half.
that's unbelievable.
And then you go, now, as you can agree, like that for what you're getting there. This is just, you can't beat that, da da da. And then and I'm like, I'm sure you'll agree with that. And then they go, yeah. And then you go, and now if you were to buy today and sign with me right today, down again, another like 400 down, like that's what it is. And then they're just like, oh God, take my money. Christ has returned to offer me fucking house alarms,
Yeah.
So it's a real little fucking dance,
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun.
I was caught up. I nearly bought it.
I know.
There, I was, give me a pen.
I know, lad.
Give me
It's
a
fucking,
pen.
it is like when you learn these like persuasive sales techniques, like you're like, Jesus Christ, they are fucking.
Yeah, all that Wolf of Wall Street type stuff.
100%.
You're the Irish Wolfhound of Wall Street.
Huh? Me? Yeah. Oh. I don't even know if an Irish Wolfhound does that, but.
No, they're quite docile.
Yeah,
there used to be one of the parents in my rugby club had 2 Irish Wolfhounds, and they would put them in the rugby shirts and have them at the side of the pitch.
Oh, that's fun.
It was great, like little mascots.
That's cool crack.
It's very cool.
They look like old men.
They're brilliant dogs.
The Irish Guards in Buckingham Palace, so like they're one of the guards that
the Royal Irish Guards.
The Royal Irish Guards that do march up and down and guard the palaces.
Worst job ever, by the way.
Huh?
I know you spend a lot of time in and around them, but you must feel like such a stupid cunt doing that.
Oh yeah, like an absolute clown. But it's very unpopular amongst the soldiers. They just have to do it. Like so before they can get sent off to have fun in Afghanistan
and kill loads of kids and stuff.
Yeah, and just get to like bomb a church. They have to like just stand there with these stupid, and the hats are heavy.
What they have to do,
it's hot.
What they have to do, I think, is as part of their training, as part of the army, before they get sent to Afghanistan, they're stationed at Buckingham Palace so they can build up a real hatred for tourists, foreigners, and children.
That's right. It's conditioning.
Interact with them for long enough that you want to kill them anyway.
100%.
And then they just go and go.
And they're released like wild dogs. It was
like, no, I don't want a selfie.
Yeah, 100%.
But they're
mowing
in
down everyone.
Hellman province.
Yeah, it was like in The Simpsons when Santa's little helper, I don't remember the dog, Mr. Burns, got hold of him, and they like put his eyes open like that and then showed him all this shit. Propaganda. Poor old Santa's little helper, and then he was like an absolute wild fucking wolf, and he and that's very similar to what they do.
Helper.
Yeah,
Bart was like, no.
Shut up, Bart. But so you were up early.
I was up early. I was up early doing a political, topical news podcast, which was really outside of my wheelhouse. It was like so.
But you're a politics guy.
I'm not a politics. In what world am I a politics guy?
You're always on about racism's bad and everything. That's a political guy. There's a political statement. You say that all the time.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, the English were colonized people, and then other such things. You had something about Palestine and terrorists in government. We'd never know about that. Nod. Sinn Féin.
Jeez, I'm getting some shit for that clip.
You are.
Yeah, I mean it's unsurprising doing a joke about Israel Palestine now, but like,
you're getting absolutely fucking.
The clip has like 2,000 comments on it.
I saw that and I knew in my heart they couldn't all be positive. In fact, I knew for a fact because I laid in some nasty ones.
Well, there's a mix of things in the comments of that. If you haven't seen the joke is, the Palestinians have elected terrorists to their government. Northern Irish guy. I thought that was our thing.
Yes,
exactly.
Funny
little joke, funny little comparison.
Yeah.
A couple of things have happened.
It was nasty.
I'm getting called anti-Semitic fairly regularly. I'm getting, here's how addicted I am to...
You're the closest thing to a Jewish man I've ever met. But anyway, go on.
No, there wasn't a yarmulke big enough.
You'd need to get a fucking parachute to just put on the fucking back of your head. Oh, that's funny. A circus tent to just put in the back of your head.
The Spiegel tent.
Yeah. But go on anyway.
Yes, I'm getting called anti-Semitic. Here's how addicted I am to reading all of the hateful things people say about me on the internet.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me a fucking essay in Hebrew.
Right.
And I took it to Google Translate to figure out what they were saying.
No way.
They DM'd me and it was like this massive thing about how anti-Semitic I am. And I was like, I know this isn't going to be nice, but I want to know what it says. So I copied and pasted it into Google Translate.
But lad, I don't know how you do it because I like just from my, and I'll talk about this actually more in the Patreon, but just from my Have a Word episode, I got like just a small percentage of the Have a Word fans hate me, and and they're just giving me stick, and it hurt my feelings.
The more
tremendously.
cultured, splinter cells of the Have a Word audience.
They were absolutely fucking furious. They're like, just his fucking pointless fucking stories, and he's just waffling, Irish waffle, stupid fucking. It's like I told a story about a riot in a school, like do you know what I mean? What do you also? Are you watching Have a Word to like as if it's 60 minutes and it's going to be like
it's question time
for political, But anyway, my feelings were hurt tremendously, so I stopped looking at the comments. But you're a little glutton for punishment.
Yeah, I can't stop. I'm really trying to get better at not looking at comments, but they're fucking all over me at the minute.
But then you get some nice ones where there's women saying that they're that they need to have a mop on them at all times because you make them so horny.
Where have you seen that?
Oh, it's everywhere. And you're the Irish Matt Rife. I actually saw a comment someone saying that.
I get that fairly regularly on TikTok.
So you're
me and Sarah Keyworth get. Is this the UK's Matt Rife?
You and Keyworth. I suppose Rife is like a mixture of the two.
Spicer as well.
Oh, Spicer is absolutely in that territory. I mean, not in that territory, as in. Spicer is very good looking.
Handsome boy.
He's a handsome devil, for fuck's sake, Spicer. Less of it. But you, so people have been commenting saying that you're a nasty little character and a rotten egg.
Yes, but also on the other side, the nice ones, even the nice ones on that clip kind of stress me out because people are like, yes, thank you for speaking up for Palestine. And I'm like, I don't I don't think that's what I made a silly joke about Northern Ireland, and people are going like, "Yes, you are an activist." And I was like, "I really am not." But my favorite ones were.
Well, you should be speaking up for Palestine, though. If you have any backbone at all.
Have you been?
Nope. I don't have backbone. I'm saying, but like, you know, I don't pretend to.
I just don't think it's our job on stage to be partisan, you know.
But as someone whose whole message in his whole career has been racism is bad. And I've oversized head because of how much prejudice I deal with. My head is swollen with
prejudice that I've received.
With prejudice that you've received, and just the whole idea of world prejudice has swollen your head to try just to deal with it all. But I do think, like, I could probably say on this podcast, it might be controversial, but I think there should be a ceasefire and it should stop. And what's happening to the Palestinians is horrendous. I don't think that's controversial.
Stop with your hot takes and your kind
That's not controversial to say. I think we can all fucking agree with that.
I didn't realize I was podcasting with an anti-Semite.
Oh, you dirty dog!
Terrible bad stuff.
I've been saying Woody Allen's innocent for years, so I am not an anti-Semite. I'm a pro-Semite. Weinstein, Epstein, Woody Allen, I think they're all innocent. I'm pro-Jew. So there you go. Now you look like a fucking clown, don't you? I've been fucking campaigning for Weinstein's release. The man is ill. He was on the Zimmer frame. Have some empathy.
Finn Taylor had a funny joke where he was like, I'm not saying I'm pro-Israel, but I do work in show business, and there's not many Palestinians casting films these days.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen.
Palestinians not going to give me a TV show.
No. Not a fucking chance of it.
But I've had all this shit going on the internet and people shouting at me. And this was like my little...
And has it been upsetting you?
Well, yeah, a little bit. I get really scared. I think it's not so bad because the Jewish fellas...
He lives around... Go on, sorry. Just if there's any people who are looking to find him, message me. I'll give you the exact address. I swear to God, I will.
I know you're not here today, but please cut it out.
All right, come on. No, but go on. Sorry.
Yeah, because I dipped my toe. I've posted 2 because I've
dipped your balls into the...
I've basically been doing 10 minutes on Israel-Palestine gigs recently.
So rude.
And it's a good 10 minutes, and it's all silly, and I don't say anything bad about anybody, and it's I get in and out without picking a side.
I know one of the lines, and it's horrid.
Yeah. But it's good, clean fun for the whole family. And I just dipped my toe in with those 2 clips. I did the one about Protestants and Catholics, and they were both just like, oh, that's just Northern Ireland jokes. They're kind of referencing Israel-Palestine, but the joke's about Northern Ireland. And already I'm like, I was just going to clip up the whole 10 minutes and gradually release like all the jokes.
Oh, don't do that now.
Week or so.
No way.
I think a couple of them might go really badly.
Oh, they're going to go very badly. They're going to really leave a bitter taste. It's just, you know what it is? And I've noticed it on stage a lot of places. I know you're doing this 10 minutes and it's working well and everything, but it's just, it feels like it's just too fucking current right fucking now. Children dying this second, like every 10 minutes. And it's just like people, it's not even about people having a sense of humor. It's just people are just like, listen, you know, I think people just...
Yeah. There's also an interesting thing where like it's so complex. Like so much of it is like if you try to get into the weeds of it, so much of the audience don't know anything about it. Right. They just know all the bad things and are like, fuck, that's terrible, what's happening?
And you don't know anything about it either.
Hey, I've been listening to a lot of boring podcasts about it, I'll have you know.
You've been listening to a lot of Piers Morgan. I tell you how I found out about the Israel-Palestine conflict and how I learned about it.
Piers Morgan talking to Andrew Tate.
And Andrew Tate. And I said, by God. And do you know what Tate said? And I thought this was fucking great.
Insightful.
He said, violence is never good. He's like, violence is never good, Piers. Violence is never good.
He's a kickboxer.
Huh?
He's a kickboxer.
I know. I said, just the pot calling the kettle black now. Andy Tate. You know, violence is never good, Piers. You know, and I received a matrix attack for all the women I've raped. But anyway, Andy Tate kind of laid it out and he said that what's going on there is bad.
Right.
And I hadn't considered that until Cobra Tate stuck his head above the pulpit bravely
I like the
and
idea.
said it.
I like the idea of people who hate Andrew Tate so much they're like they just want to disagree with him on everything. So like, well, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Because he's wrong about everything. They just hate Andrew Tate so much. They're like, I think not a ceasefire. I think more fire, please.
Because they're just so Andrew Tate. Like, they're so anti-Tate. Just nothing he could say could be right.
More bombs, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you know what's so like ridiculous is like Piers Morgan obviously poses as like such a serious journalist.
It's fucking
now,
piss.
you know, and he has all these people on, and he's had some great interviews. I gotta give that to Piers Morgan. He's had some quality people on, that have been good. Recently, he just had a guy called Gabor Mate, who's the world's most empathetic man. Look him up.
He's got these kind eyes.
Oh, the eyes of a whale. These deep whale kind eyes. He survived. He himself was born in the first year he was born was during the Holocaust. His parents had been interned in a camp. This guy is a great man, Gabor Mate. Have a look at him. But anyway,
what did his parents do to end up in the camp? What did they do?
Well, they did some bad stuff. They were born Jewish and there's other stuff. But so
tell you what's stressing me out, just so I get it out of my brain.
Yes,
we've got a new lens on the camera, and therefore I can't see the red light.
Oh yeah.
So occasionally I'll glance to see if it's still recording. So I'm going to flip out the screen so I can see that it's still recording, so you don't have to deal with the admin of that. Is that okay?
I can see now. I'm completely immobilized by looking at the red light. For the rest of this episode, I'm just going to be transfixed by its gaze.
You've been transfixed by gaze before.
Oh, you're making out that I've had gay sex. Hey, that's rude.
It said trans and gay.
Yeah. Oh, that was, I didn't. Anyway, whatever. But
trans people like getting fixed.
Fixed? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good joke. Put that. I'm sure that'll be completely uncontroversial as well. Post it. We'll clip that bit, just in case you're not getting enough abuse. But there's like that red light. There's a movie called 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's a famous,
I've played that.
Oh, so deep.
Also, Sprague Zarathustra.
Is that what it's called?
That piece is called?
Oh man, that'd fucking make the hairs on your arse stand up. But in the movie, there's it's like HAL 3000 is like basically the villain of the movie, who's just the AI system that runs the spaceship that the guys are on. And he's like, David, Frank, I heard you talking about me earlier. I just see this guy looking at us, and I just feel this camera's going to turn on us at some point.
Wow, yeah, even going to get cancelled by the woke camera. They're making cameras too woke these days.
I just can imagine him just somehow dubbing in like the N-word over things we're saying, just to ruin our careers.
Connell will do that.
Connell will do it. Connell, there is a
I think this is Connell's too well educated to just be doing this for the kind of the love of the game type
Part
thing.
of me thinks he's doing a kind of a Louis Theroux thing with us, like where he's just observing two baboons.
It's not Louis Theroux. It's Jane Goodall with the apes.
Oh yeah,
she just lived amongst them for a while.
God Almighty! We're going to go, because what we need to wrap up is you being on this fucking political show. Today.
Just like it's so not my. You're saying it is my wheelhouse. It's not. They're all. So you sit.
But you're good at topical stuff.
Yeah, but like,
and you're good at writing jokes.
When something pops into my head or whatever, but what you have to do is you show up at 8:30 in the morning, and as you and it's me and like journalists,
right?
Like funny
Paxman
journalists who write like columns.
Paxman, Parkinson's corpse, a few
people who write columns for the New Statesman and shit like that.
Yeah.
And they're all talking about like, oh, have you seen this person in the Guardian's written that again? Typical that person. And I'm like, I don't know the names.
You have to kind of laugh a lot.
Columnists be like, typical fucking Jimmy. Am I right? Right. He's fucking whatever, you know. And then you go through all the papers.
Yeah.
And like they find all the funny headlines, all the funny articles, and I'm just sat there like, because I was listening to an episode on the way to the record, and at one point on the bus I was just like, I don't even think I'm smart enough to listen to this podcast. Never mind be a part of it.
They probably just think because you've such a fat head that you're smart. Do you think so? Because you've like a Jimmy Neutron head.
But I went in, and if you want to listen to it, it's the Paper Cuts podcast, and they're all really nice people. And I'm like, it's a real like centrist dads podcast, you know, like just guys with a couple kids who just want to keep. They're like, oh, you know what? It's so too partisan.
They're clipping the hedge. They're clipping the hedges, and they want their mind to be numb.
It's a real hedge clipping podcast. It's a real hedge clipping podcast. If you want to listen to it, I don't know what'll make the edit because they chop it all down, but it was me just, and at points I was like, I'm just doing an impression of a different comedian here.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Rishi wants to talk about the environment and he wants to plant more trees. God, son, couldn't see the wood for the trees.
And did you bomb?
No, like it got little laughs, but I was just there like, whoa. And then occasionally they're like, oh, could you set up that story? And I had to do like, you know, the exposition with no jokes in it.
Yeah.
They were like, could you set up the story about...
You're a newsreader. You're Ann Doyle.
From fucking, it was wild.
You're Brian Dobson.
They were like, so there's been riots in Dublin. Can you tee it up? And I was there going, yeah, so there was a stabbing at a crash.
There's been a stabbing at a crash earlier today, 2 p.m. 7 squirrels were killed.
It's all really bad. And then McGregor was tweeting about it, and isn't that crazy? And they were all like, yes, well, actually, Alison Pearson said this in her column and the fucking whatever.
You're a newsreader.
I was just like, I don't know what benefit I'm bringing to this podcast.
I'd hate, lad, I don't know who got you that podcast. I guess someone asked you to do it.
It was me. One of their producers got in touch.
When I'm on the way to anything like that, like I just don't want to do anything. Like, I don't want to do anything. Like I just want to do. I like doing this pod and the other pod. And I gigs. Do, and I like gigs. And after that, I don't want. Like if people are like, okay, we have this political. No.
Yeah,
absolutely
I need to get much better at being like, no, that's not my thing.
That sounds like homework to me, and I don't like listening to that stuff. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. You might as well, hey, do you want to work in the bank for 2 hours? No, I don't. Do you know what I mean? Hey, do you want to clean toilets for 2 hours? That's the same thing to me. Yeah. It's the same thing as, do you want to do shit you don't want to do for 2 hours?
I think I have and I want to be clear that they were nice people and like, I appreciate them having me on. But I think it's
were scum. They were upper middle class scum. They were dreary maggots, sucking the life out of you. A young bull, full of comedic talent.
I was just floundering. I was just there going, oh, fucking, normally this happens sometimes.
Of course, because they're making you a company man, a corporate shill. They were sanding all the edges off you. You want to come out and say offensive things about political wars and conflicts. And sexuality and race and gender.
Yeah.
And they want you to talk about the fucking transport budget or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, shit like that.
Now you do have a transport budget head on you. This is what's misled them.
This is what's putting it out.
They see your big head that looks itself like a train, and they think he's going to have opinions.
I've gained a mustache for November. Do you think that's part of it? You're a fan of the mustache, aren't you?
Mustache look, I hate to say it. The mustache looks cool. Now, that doesn't give me any joy to say. I wish it looked stupid. It actually kind of it looks good and cool. But then I'm thinking, has my mind just been tricked again by popular culture? Do you know what I mean?
As in, you've seen enough, because we're kind of getting overexposed to mustaches. Just living in London, particularly, you're just walking around and you're bombarded with mustaches.
Well, it's just become mustachios everywhere you fucking look.
Yeah.
And what happens with that? When I see the first mustache, I'm like, that looks shit. Mustaches are stupid. You look like my uncle who was a pedo. That's what I think first.
Yeah.
Then I start to see enough of them, and I start to see it on magazines and in films, and now this pop star has it. And then suddenly, a couple of months later, I like mustaches.
Yeah.
I think mustaches look good.
Isn't it mad how that's how fashion and shit works?
Well, we don't have an original. We actually don't have original thoughts.
That's what people seem to be doing.
But we
just go with them.
Our free will is an illusion. Our thoughts are an illusion. This is what lads in the Have a Word would hate me for. They'd be like, fucking talking waffles, stupid Irish cunt, pointless piece of shit, fucking stupid bastard.
Oh my God. If I took every negative comment about me as seriously as you do, I would have killed myself years ago.
And honestly, it wouldn't have been the worst thing if you did take a little swing at yourself.
At least I didn't make a fucking Netflix special about people being nasty about me on Twitter.
Oh, who did that?
Rifey boy, my hero, my idol, the one true God.
The rifle, as I call him.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
We're opening tabs rapidly here. We need to close some.
We actually, this is known as an ADHD podcast.
We've closed it. I did the Paper Cuts podcast. Thank you for having me. If you want to go listen to it, I'm sure I embarrassed myself.
Your hairy face we're talking about.
Yes, I'm trying to close other tabs from previously in the podcast. Wrap them up. So I was up early for that thing. Yeah. We'll find out why you were up early at some point.
Yeah.
You were in Vienna. And
that's right.
We didn't really come back to that at all.
Yeah.
Anything else? Yeah, we've got Rife. Rife's an open tab. Well, no, let's do Mustache and then Rife.
Yeah.
Got a Mustache.
Right. So
I'm using Movember as the excuse for it.
Yeah.
So people go, oh, you growing a mustache? I go, oh, it's for Movember. And then they go, oh, what's the donation link? And I go, just shut up.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what it looked like.
Yeah, fuck off. Don't ask me any more questions. Go away.
But here's the dilemma of the Movember thing, because there's a type of doing Movember where you're just raising awareness, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're just walking around looking like a fucking dickhead with a big stupid mustache, and then you go, well, then people will think about male mental health, won't they? Because they'll go, oh, look at all these mustaches, it must be from Movember. I'm now more aware of male mental health and all that stuff. The problem with also having a mustache as shit as I have is kind of like twice a week someone will call me a paedophile from across the street,
right?
Which deeply affects my male mental health.
I didn't know you heard me when I did that. I thought I was hidden in the bush. But do you know what? I'm going to say it right now, and I'm dead serious. It looks good. It looks funny, but also good. Also, you want to start now because you're getting this wave of people. Like I was looking at, because I was getting abuse in my comments from my Have a Word a little bit. And so I was like, Joe, I'm going to have a look at Vittorio's last Have a Word.
It was a tonic.
Just see if he got any abuse.
On my last Have a Word?
Yeah, but you didn't get any abuse. But there was like, people were talking about how fit you were in the comment. They're like, oh my God, Vittorio's so fit. And I was like, oh, Vittorio is like you are becoming like,
but you're
a strange, like just like flick the bean symbol, like where people are just absolutely squirting all over Middle England for you, and it's nasty and rotten. But so what you need to do a little bit is to obscure your looks. See, the thing is, they can't see your whole head. So on these things, so they're only seeing your front face, so that's why they think you're hot.
Yeah, if
you need
I
to
was
turn your head sideways
profile
more, and people are like, "Whoa, what the hell?"
I'll just be like this.
He's a mutant.
I'll be on stage. I'll do like
Simon, you'll probably knock over like
Simon Lomas.
You'll probably knock over the other acts on the side of the stage if you turn quickly. They're like, whoa, fuck,
slapstick, baby.
Yeah, but so now what I'm saying is like a little
the mustache is like
it's fun, it's funny, and it's trendy, and it looks good. And you've got your little ear in, your young dumb full of cum.
Jamali loves the mustache. She's upset. Like, she's the one that was really pushing for the mustache.
Yeah, I mean, look, give Jamali her due. She's nailed it.
I don't know about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it looks silly. I think I'm too like blonde. It doesn't look good from a distance. You wouldn't even know I had a mustache.
No, it looks well. It looks fun. It's hard because it's like, a mustache is a big, But
like if you shaved the beard and kept the mustache, your mustache would be better than this one.
No, I'd look very like a mechanic who had just gotten out of jail kind of thing.
No, but yours is thick and dark.
Yeah, I know, but that's even more.
It looks like you got a big black cock on your lip.
What? A big black cock on my lips? I wish. I fucking wish.
I look like I have a thin white cock on my lip.
You do. You look like you've a little fucking Japanese kyak on your fucking top of your lip. A little fucking just right on the top of your lip, just like a little samurai cock, right on the top of your lip, lad. And I've got a fucking Big Diesel Shaq, fucking whopper here. Did you know Shaq was shagging his teammates' wives and stuff?
Wow, there's very little you can do about that, I think. Huh? It's better than Dwight Howard shagging his teammates, like brothers and uncles and things.
What?
You know, Dwight Howard is a man shagger?
No, I had heard he was a man shagger, and in my head I was just like, sure, he's just kind of lad he'd get up on the leg of the chair kind of a thing. So he's just so horny, like. Do you know? So much energy.
No, I don't know if that's true about the brothers and uncles and things. But I didn't know that about Shaq. Shaq was riding Kobe's wife?
No, he wasn't shagging Kobe's wife. Although Karl Malone, who became to play with the Lakers...
Isn't he a pedo?
Who?
Karl Malone.
I think Karl Malone, he had a sweet tooth for 15 to 17. He kind of
I swear he
wouldn't turn him off
like a 14-year-old or something.
I think I'd heard that as well.
Yeah, he's a big Elvis fan.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I think he might have done something like that. I think he's just an all-round, just maniacally horny man. Some of these basketball players, like, you know, like Will Chamberlain apparently shagged 20,000 women.
Yeah.
Like, some of these
That's
lads...
just crazy
Some
numbers.
of these lads are
he
just...
was a stat sheet stuffer.
All. And he was as a player as well, lad. He scored 101 game. But... like some of these lads, just once they retire, you know, they're just gorgeous, massive athletes, and they have to put that energy somewhere.
Yeah.
So they just start just.
They either podcast or they fuck. That's
they
the
podcast
options.
or they just mow through the female population. But
there are women. Did you know this? There are women who will fly to wherever the NBA All-Star Weekend is.
Yeah.
And their whole aim for the weekend is to get pregnant by a basketball player.
Yeah, and I said
It's like a business. It's a career choice for women in America.
yeah, but like fucking fair, like clever thinking.
Go for it.
100%.
Yeah, you just see the lobbies of hotel rooms during All-Star Weekend are full of women doing handstands. Just trying to get it to...
just up like doing their little rocking back and forth, and just everyone just like, look, damn, you dirty bitches, and they're just like proud as punch.
I'm planning for my future.
This one's Carmelo's, you know, like. But yeah, Karl Malone apparently said so. Kobe's wife, who's like Mexican or something, and
she's not dead.
No. She's
alive.
She's alive. She's survived.
Her and the other daughter.
Yeah. I think Gianna died and Kobe died, and so the
And
saddest
those
thing
other
ever-
two white people. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, honestly, who gives good? They got what was coming to them, colonizing pigs. But But Kobe's wife, so Karl Malone, they were at like a training session because he came to play with the Lakers in his last year of his career. Him and Gary Payton came to play with Kobe and Shaq in like 2004, and it was like this super team. They were like, they're definitely going to win, but they didn't because at this stage, Shaq and Kobe didn't like each other anymore.
Yeah, and Gary Payton's fucked. He's not quick enough at that point.
No, he's old and rickety, and Malone is old and rickety, and but apparently, so like Kobe's wife was
it's also not a balanced team whatsoever. Like imagine those four all on the court together. It's just like
too many egos, too much cock length.
You need a Stockton in there.
Yeah, just a little cock and vision.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's Stockton.
Lads with little cocks have a lot of vision.
Yeah,
like there's nothing surer than
vision
that.
isn't obscured by their
because
own cock.
if you've got a massive schlong, like the only place you know what I mean.
You're just chuffed.
You're just like,
You're just buzzing. You're like,
look at
class.
that. You're like, Johnny's
Whereas
open.
John has to find his. He has to find his kind
Pleasure
of
from outside.
gratification from outside.
That's exactly right.
He can't just look downwards. That's why he got so many assists. That's
Absolutely
why white
right.
guys get so many assists.
100%.
Because their eyes are up.
Steve Nash, he doesn't ever want to look down there. Ever. He had an ingrown cock. He had an absolute innie. He had a vagina. Steve Nash had a vagina. He couldn't look down there. It was very troubling to him. So he was just an incredible passer.
He was out about.
But so what Malone said to Kobe's wife, she was like, oh, something like, she was like, oh, hey, like, she's like, hi, Carl, like, she's like, what are you, she asked him some question like, what are you looking for at the minute, or what are you getting into at the minute? And he's like, well, what I'm hoping to get into is little Mexican women. Like he said to her, like as in like, as if she was going to be like,
come on in.
Yeah.
I'm a little Mexican woman.
Because in his head, he's still Karl Malone from 1997.
Yeah,
when
he's
like
jazz.
the second best player in the NBA.
Yeah.
And he forgets, she's going to have a Kobe.
Yeah,
He's the man now.
You're fucked.
She's not going to fucking bend over for you, Karl Malone.
Listen, Derek Fisher's wife. That's someone you could get a hold of, but not Kobe's wife.
Not Kobe's wife, brother.
sake.
Yeah. Derek Fisher, actually, just now that you said that. So Derek Fisher, this has gotten basketball heavy. Point guard for the Lakers. So he was a teammate of a guy called Matt Barnes. So in the later years of the Lakers, so the second Lakers dynasty with Pau Gasol and all these guys. So Fisher was back with Lakers, and this guy Matt Barnes, his wife, he broke up with his wife, and then Derek Fisher got with his wife, and then Derek Fisher was at a barbecue with Matt Barnes' wife, like 2 hours away from Matt Barnes, and Matt Barnes drove the whole way down to the barbecue, just walked in the back, they're all their friends and they're all hanging out. Derek Fisher was there and just went out and just laid Derek Fisher out. Yeah, just fucking decked him.
Wow, there's so much more of this in the NBA than I thought there was. Because I thought it was like, because you know, the most famous song, I think we've spoken about it on the podcast before, Delonte West fucked LeBron James's mother.
Yeah.
And that's just absolute. The mother thing's wild. You know, people get divorced and people have affairs. That's one thing.
That's his mammy.
But fucking their mum.
If one of my fucking teammates in O'Loughlin Gales shagged Betsy Rice, I would have bet them to death with a fucking hurl.
Yeah.
You stay away from my mother.
Yeah.
She's fucking apple tarts to bake.
I think I would kill.
I would kill him.
I think if I had a friend who did that, I would kill him.
Oh, I'd have to.
That's crazy.
Dead duck. And in like a really violent, like, do you know, like in movies where someone, you can't even see their face. All you see is the angles on me and the blood
is yeah. But your unfeeling face.
That's right. And I can't stop. And I'm like, Dush, you do not touch Betsy Rice. We were on the half back line together.
Like, no matter how happy they make your mother, it's just not on.
Yeah.
You have to die, I'm afraid.
I suppose, would it be different if they made, like, if your mom was like, this is, like, I love your teammate Johnny, 15-year-old Johnny Fitzpatrick. I am in love with him and I've never felt happier, you know? But you'd be like, but like he's, you know what I mean? He doesn't shower. You know him like.
I think I'd beat them both to death.
You beat them both to death? Like beat them or like shotgun style, just like catch them in the act and just.
Yeah. Opening sequence of Shawshank.
Yeah.
Bang, bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is. Yeah, I would drive up with a hip flask, and.
Oh man! So in Austria at the minute,
so that's why you were up early this morning. You were in Vienna.
So I was in Vienna, but so in Austria,
did you go to see the Philharmonic, the best orchestra in the world, supposedly, subjective, are in Vienna, the Vienna Philharmonic? Did you go to them?
I didn't go to them. I didn't know about that at the time. But
next
like
time.
Vienna, what I think when I'm in Vienna, I think classical music, and as that's playing, a lot of racist thoughts. You know,
are they racists in Vienna?
Oh yeah, they've like little gollywogs in the windows of some shops.
It's
a bit mad.
Is that to ward off demons?
Huh? No.
What's that for?
Do you know the gollywogs are like? Do you
know
those, like,
I know the little. Yeah,
I don't know if it's to ward off
dolls.
demons. I don't know what it's to do, but it's just like blatant.
They're
and
just
open.
selling them.
Yeah.
That's strange.
And but like they have it in the front of the store, so they're like, this is what's going to reel people in. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is what we're going fishing with.
So it's in the. So it's. I thought it was like, do you know, like one of those cardboard cutouts of a policeman.
Yeah.
On the door of a co-op.
No.
Have you not seen them?
No.
Some like shops in the UK just have like a sticker of a security guard rather than a security guard. And it makes people think, I thought that was what was happening with the gollywogs in Austria.
No.
Nobody will misbehave in here. We've got a racist depiction of black people on the wall.
No, it wasn't even that. It's like they're literally, that's the bait to get people to shop. Like if you are selling gollywogs or racist.
It's like the Maradona statues in Naples.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. But I feel like if you're going to be selling them, that should be a kind of a thing where it's like behind in the basement, behind the thing, you have to know a secret handshake to get back there. But they're having it to get people in. But so I got the flight this morning. I got like I booked a suicide flight. Now,
what do you mean red eye? Do you mean an early flight?
Yeah. So I call them like 6:30 flights. They're suicide flights.
Well, it's not that. Here's what it is. It's not that you want to kill yourself. You want to kill your past self.
Yeah.
For doing it to you.
That's right.
You want to be like, why? What for? What? 20 quid? You saved 20 quid on this flight?
Yeah.
And you've ruined my day and tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like, it just wrecks. It's so bad.
That's right.
You just like, fuck, I just want to go back in time and kill me.
And the thing was, I booked 2. So I've been on tour. I was on tour for 10 days throughout Spain and Portugal with my friend Vittorio.
Nice.
Great comedian, great man. We were going around there. Then I was back for a day. And then I had to go to Vienna for 2 days. Now, I was fucking wrecked already. We've been going from city to city. I was so tired. And then when I looked up, I was like, okay, what time do I have to go to Vienna tomorrow? I booked myself an 8 o'clock flight. I'm like, you stupid cunt. You fucking rotten bastard.
Foolish.
Like, past Mike has absolutely just stuck a fucking steel bar up present Mike's arsehole and just been, you dirty cunt. It's such an act of unkindness.
Yeah.
From past Mike to present Mike. So I'm like, fuck. So that's a suicide flight. But as I was getting on that flight, right, I was like, right, okay. The whole time I had to go up at like fucking 4 to get that one, to get to Stansted on time and this whole thing. And then I was like, right, just stay awake and get to the plane. Once you get on the plane, it's 2.5 hours. You can sleep on the plane.
That's a benefit to the very early flight.
Right.
Even when I fly in like the afternoon,
yeah,
I end up trying to sleep on the flight. Because I can't do anything on flights. Do you know what I mean? I just can't I can't read a book. I don't know why. It's too noisy or whatever. I don't like people sitting that close to me when I'm reading a book or something. So I always try and sleep, but I can't really sleep on an afternoon flight. So that's the only benefit of a super early flight is you fall the fuck asleep straight away.
Well, that was my plan. And I sat down and I was like, oh, fucking great. Next thing, I'm sitting beside a couple that are here, old English couple. And they just start talking to me.
No, what are you doing? There is no chats to be had on the red-eye flight.
No.
Shut the fuck up.
This is a suicide flight. Let me kill myself. Don't try to, you know what I mean?
Don't try and stop me.
I've already taken the cyanide, Richard. So then he said, the guys start going, because I was just like this, kind of put my head forward against, because it's a tiny, it's a Ryanair flight.
I love waking up at the end of a flight with a big red mark on your forehead because you've just been head first in the seat in front.
So that's exactly what I did. I literally sat down and just went, rung, just head like a magnet, just rung, like this. And then, so it's like that. I was like this, and then the guy, the old fellow was like, he's like, you're nervous about flying, are you? And I was like, no, I just tired going to sleep. And he's like, yes, tiredness, I remember that. And then he goes, he's like, am I right in saying you're Irish? And I was like, did you not hear the tiredness thing?
Yeah.
Why are you still talking?
Why are you still talking?
After I said the tiredness thing.
I get that you two have been married for 30 years and you don't like each other anymore.
100%.
But I'm not here to fucking fix that. I'm here to sleep and save 20 quid.
100%.
You stupid cunt.
You stupid cunt. I'm so tired. So then he starts talking on there. He's like, correct me if I'm wrong. He's like, but you're Irish.
Oh,
you're an Irishman. And I was like, yeah, I'm
This
Irish.
feels like the vibe of, and I don't know where the story's going to go, but when I've been said, anytime someone in that accent goes, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're Irish, they're about to say, I lived in Ireland briefly, and you go, oh, when? And you go, in the 90s. And you go, what was that? What was that for? And it's like, I served in the, oh, you were a soldier. Okay, bye.
It was actually in 1971. It was a particular Sunday, actually, afternoon. We got a bit trigger happy, and it was a great old time, really. Anyway, there's a whole big hullabaloo. U2 wrote a song about it, but it was a bloody good Sunday, I say.
I tell you what, you two don't have a song about you, do they?
Yes. So anyway, so he was just there, you're Irish.
Chatting away.
Right. And then next thing he starts going, so he starts saying, he goes, he's like, unlucky with the rugby. And then his little wife pops up, unlucky with the rugby, yes.
Oh,
he was like, who would have thought, he said, that England would get further than Ireland in this World Cup? No one did. And then I was like, no. But then little does he know.
Oh, I would have been so angry.
You would have been angry, but little does he know, I couldn't give a fuck, because he was like, you must have been very upset when Ireland got knocked out. And in my head, I was like, no, Tom Spurlong threw my lighter on the ground. I was delighted. I hate the Irish rugby team.
Yeah.
But you can't say that, because it just upsets people too much for you not to follow the narrative that they play. So if I had said no, I was happy the Irish rugby team lost, that would have they would have.
There's too much complication there.
And they would have started trying to eat the chair. They just would have been like, but Irishman doesn't.
It wouldn't have computed. It would have
confused them horribly.
They might have died.
They might have died, and they were close to it anyway. So they were there, and your man is nice.
That's my aim with a lot of my material, is just to hope that some old English people in the crowd will die from confusion of their beliefs.
To induce cardiac arrest. I like the idea that you're like a euthanasia device for old English people.
Yeah.
We just need to let go of them. It's just like, bring in Angelone.
Yeah, I've got a gig in Switzerland next week.
Yeah.
Go out and go, fucking.
Yeah.
Who's drinking?
Yeah. Racism's bad. And they're all like, oh no, that's not what I believed. But anyway, so he's chatting away. And next thing, anyway. Rugby. He was like, but yes, you were
I always think the adrenaline of someone trying to, interrupting you, because that initial moment of, I'm sleepy enough to go to sleep right now.
That's right.
It's a precious thing that must be held on to.
Oh, yes.
If you skip past it or somebody interrupts it, it's like if you're about to sneeze and someone goes, bless you, before you've sneezed, you don't sneeze.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're about to fall asleep and someone goes, oh, tired, are you?
Yes.
And then you just go, what? And then you're so annoyed at them that your adrenaline starts pumping and you're no longer sleeping.
No. And now you're murderous.
Yeah.
You're awake and homicidal.
Yeah.
Right? So then anyway, he's yapping on this. The rugby in Ireland is like, this is, he said, it seemed like your big chance, Sexton's gone, and she's like, Sexton's gone. She's just like a little parrot.
She's like a member of the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
Bet you didn't know what's going on.
Yeah. Sexton's gone. So she's piping in with this, Sexton's gone. And then they're like, all right. So then we're like chatting away, and then he's just like, so what do you do with yourself? And anyway, big mistake, like a fucking idiot.
I struggle with this. I struggle with lying when people ask me this.
And I sometimes do lie, and I just say, I'm a paedophile. But
no, what's the lie that you say?
Oh no, when I say it, no, I was joking. I don't tell people I'm a paedophile. No, when I lie, I just say
no, because you are a pedophile. I'm confused.
You dirty dog. Touche. Anyway, so no, I usually, if I am telling a serious lie about what I do, I just say I'm a teacher. But
that's the go-to. I do teacher as well.
Yeah, I'm a teacher, an English teacher. But anyway, for whatever reason, it was early in the morning, whatever. I just said, I'm stand-up comedian. Now, I might as well have told these people I believe myself to be a cat. You know what I mean? Like, they just immediately, they were just kind of looking at me as if, oh, this poor young deluded man, and he's going to Vienna. He thinks there's gigs there, I think I'm going busking in Vienna. So anyway, they're like, oh, this. And then the old lady just pops her head around the corner and she's like, and is the comedy you do rude? She's just kind of angry now.
I love that.
Her little wrinkly head.
She's read some fucking article about how all comedians these days are too rude, and back in the day they weren't rude, they were just aggressively racist. But they didn't bloody swear about it, did they?
Didn't bloody swear. It's good fun.
All this mucky language.
Mucky, sutty language. Crummy little jokes about sexual innuendo, sexual misadventures. So she was like, I need your comedy rude. And what I would have loved to said was like, well, that depends on, would you find eating your own cum rude? Or would you just find it
it's really a matter of, it's quite subjective actually, I would say. Or is it just
a manifestation of nature and the human condition, you see? So she's like, is your cum rude? And then I goes, I just told him, I guess, I suppose it's a bit rude. It's very rude. I just call everyone pedos. But I was like, it's a bit rude. And then she just goes, oh. Just made this weird little, oh.
As if, it's like you said anything rude to her. You were just like, that's the kind of stuff I do.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't being like, and everybody should like it. It's just like, God, fuck her.
Yeah, it was just, what it does is it also brings me back to because I have a whole side of my family who are just like that, who are just like, who are just like, what you do is rude and lewd, and I can't believe the crassness. And they make me feel embarrassed by what I do. So that made me then feel like that as well. Yeah,
and generational shame come upon you.
That's right. And then I was just like, oh, fuck this woman, she's awful. And then she's like, I like the rugby. And she's like, because they're gentlemen. And I don't like the football because of the language. And I was like,
what language?
Is there any way I would take this plane crashing and me dying in this crash
for the sake of
for her
wiping
to
them
die
out?
as well?
I hate all that fucking shit. That rugby is a
gentleman's game.
Hooligans game played by gentlemen.
Yes.
Football is a gentleman's game played by hooligans.
Yes.
Shut the fuck up. I went back to my first rugby training recently.
Yeah. And they're all raping each other probably.
Is there any more on the flight?
Huh?
I don't want to interrupt your story. Is there any more on the flight?
There's a little bit more.
Your
man just told me a Georgie Best story that was just fucking, that was great, because he's like, yes, he's like, and you're Irish, of course, you're great characters. He's like, I used to be a Manchester United fan, of course, and you had Charlton, Law and Best, the Holy Trinity playing together. And but then when Best was an older man, he's in his 40s, him and Ronnie Marsh, Ronnie Marsh, I don't know, who the fuck's Ronnie Marsh? He's like, Ronnie Marsh, the great Marsh. So he was like, him and Ronnie Marsh played in an exhibition match against Bishop Stortford, my local team, and I brought my son. I said, I'm going to bring you, and you can always say that you saw the great Georgie Best play the game. And then we came to the game, and Best was overweight and drunk on the field, and they tried to let him score goals, and he couldn't even hit the ball in.
and he was fat and dribbling. And my son said, he said, Daddy, which one's Georgie best? And I said, he didn't come today, unfortunately. And there's just probably like looking at like Bess trying to bum a fag off the corner flag or something, you know.
I love that idea of like he's just talking to you and you're just like reading the safety instructions for the crash. And you just say like, I hope I have to know this.
Should have called him Georgie Worst.
And you're just like, all right, so if I just open that door, they'll just fucking.
And then he said something that wound me up then, because then he goes, it was quite pathetic, like Georgie Best. And I was like, you're pathetic. George Best is not pathetic. He's a fucking legend.
He was a legend, and he was also like ill. He was just an alcoholic.
He was an alcoholic.
He struggled with addiction massively.
He's a boozy Susie. He also shagged Miss Sweden. Look what you're shagging over here.
Miss Austria.
Mrs. I don't like the language. Fuck off. Fuck right off. Yeah, it annoyed me. It hurt my feelings, and I was so tired, lad. And
straight off the back of that fucking like football comment as well.
Yeah,
to be like, rugby's great because of this. This football player was mad and drunk, wasn't he? It's like, what?
It's
put this together in your head at all.
It felt rotten and classist and just.
But it's just people reciting boring fucking platitudes.
Yeah.
That they've told at dinner parties for 20 years.
Yeah.
And you can see they're just like, but they don't get bored of it somehow. Because they're just like, oh, I've got this great story that I tell about once every 2 weeks. Anytime I can curve about something in about, anytime he meets an Irish person, he tells that story.
100%.
It's just like, fuck's sake. You're just his most recent victim.
So let me tell you a story about a time one of you was really drunk and fat. And pathetic. You'll love this, won't you, Paddy? You'll resonate with this, won't you? You fat little pathetic fuck. I think you're a comedian, do you, Paddy? Fucking rotten allegiance. You'd have made a show about this whole incident. But you were saying there, lads.
Oh yes, I went back to my first rugby training in many moons. Probably 8 or 9 years
Many
since
lunar
I've played
cycles.
rugby properly.
Yeah.
God, a couple of things. It was great. I fucking loved it. Because we did that whole podcast about competitive sport and getting back into it. Man, so exciting. I tell you my concerns. Did I mention this in the podcast? My concerns about going back to rugby. Like other times I've gone to rugby trainings in London. Number one, the standard is dog shit.
Yeah.
Fairly often, because I mean, the only rugby team I have time to join is an extremely casual
Shy one.
Yeah. Not one where they're like, oh, you didn't show up to training, so you can't play the match. I can't be in that kind of rugby team.
No, fuck that.
I won't be at lots of the trainings. But showed up and it was like, okay, this is pretty. Some of these people have kind of barely played rugby before, and all this stuff. But as soon as I was holding the bag for one of the tackling drills, and it's like we played like touch and just like running about and nothing, no like impact. And then I like put the bag on my hip, and then a guy hit me, and my whole spine just went. Just like there is 26 muscles that you haven't used in almost a decade, and they're all screaming at you right now. I was just like, oh fucking hell, and I was just running about the rest of the training just like a fucking T-Rex. I was just like, oh my god, I'm fucked.
Chose a paraplegic.
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous.
But should you think those muscles have been asleep? They've been like Rip Van Winkle. They're just 20 years. Those muscles have been like, they forgot they even existed, and then after 20 years, what the fuck? Fuck! Oh shit! All the muscles in your back. Jesus, wake up! Johnny.
Yeah.
He's moving again. Fuck! We're back at it. Oh, fuck. We're back at it. Fuck it. Legs. You know, they're just your hurling coach. All your muscles. Legs. Oh, fuck.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Did you clobber anyone?
No, there wasn't much clobbering to be done.
I wouldn't like that.
It was one of those, but I think it'll be fun, and it's close. That's the main thing, is it's rugby and it's close by, and I'm going to try and go pretty much every Thursday and get involved. I haven't played a match yet. I was away this Saturday, so I couldn't do it, and I'm away this coming Saturday again, so I can't do it. But I'm going to try and get involved.
Oh, it's sick. It's great that you're going back in. I want to start. I don't know.
There's hurling teams.
I know there's hurling teams. The problem is I have been away every single weekend, like almost since Edinburgh. Like I'm just never.
Do you think you're gonna cool off on the being away all the time thing? Because you're about to tour, so you're gonna be away for like a couple months, fairly consistently.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but no, I'm not going to stop being away because coming up to this tour.
But do you not just look at like so and so gig like in fucking Cardiff? for X amount of money. Do you not go?
No,
it's a long way to go.
I need the money. This
But
is my livelihood.
You get good paid gigs in London, no?
Nah, just top secret. Where else is there even?
I had a fun. I got a message from Top Secret
Did you?
this week. I'll talk about it on the Patreon.
Talk about it on Patreon. I'm going to talk about some of the Have a Word stuff on the Patreon. But no, the thing is, I need I need big, fat stage time now coming up to my tour.
To get the tour
because
together.
to get my tour show ready, which I think it's going to be such a great show, but I need long sets, and I can get those long sets
on the road. Yeah.
Outside of London. I can get like 45 to an hour minute sets in Europe and make money doing it.
Yeah.
So that's just the way it is.
And those are places you aren't doing the tour at, so
Exactly.
you can do the material.
That's exactly right.
I get it. It's a tricky business.
It's a tricky business, but let's give our tour date shout out because we're just on the hour mark.
Yes, I'm going to read through because I'm aware that I kind of go, oh, it's all around the UK,
Yeah.
but I'm going to actually read out.
You read out
all
there, and
the
I'm
places I'm
going
going
to fucking get my phone as well and read out my.
This is every single date for my tour. We have Newcastle sold out, York. Liverpool moved to a bigger room, so come along to Liverpool. Salford, there's like a handful of tickets left. Leeds, a handful of tickets left. Nottingham is selling decently, but fucking get involved. Bristol sold out, but we added an extra show, so there's a few tickets left for the extra show. Leicester, get involved. That's a big room, and I think it might have been a mistake. Coventry, there's 2 shows, but they're both kind of like handful of tickets left. Oxford, Exeter, Poole has sold fuck all, because why the fuck did I say yes to doing a gig in Poole?
Yeah.
Poole, please, if you live anywhere near Poole, I believe it's near Bournemouth. I googled it. Cardiff selling okay. If you're that heckler that tried to fight Mike, please come along. Cambridge looking good. Chelmsford looking decent. Northampton looking good. Guildford, we're on last few. Yes, you fucking Tories. Canterbury, we've released the balcony, so there's like a handful left for that. Brighton, I did a bunch of shows there. Come along to Brighton. I'd never done that room before. It's unreal. Middlesbrough, please get involved. And if you're in Newcastle, we're adding an extra Newcastle show actually, but Middlesbrough kind of is the one that catches the rest of the northeast. Carlisle, Darwin, if you're near Blackburn or somewhere like that, please come along. Norwich, Reading, London. We've got another Leicester Square Theatre on. Fucking exciting. Sheffield, I got banned from the venue last year. Please come to the new one. Chester sold out. Edinburgh sold out. Extras coming soon. Aberdeen sold out. I'm not adding an extra Aberdeen. It's too far away.
Right.
Glasgow, I'm trying to get fucking extra shows on sale, but they're being cunts about it. Hull,
you better hurry the fuck up with this.
Birmingham, a good few tickets left actually. Dundalk, a handful left. Greystone sold out. Dublin, there's a handful left for Vicar Street, which is fucking exciting.
Oh, you dirty Aegis.
Omagh sold out. Belfast, a handful left for the Ulster Hall. Derry sold out. Armagh. Cork, we've opened up the balcony, so there's a bunch of tickets there. Limerick, about half sold out. And that's it. Thank you.
Right. Now everyone's already tuned out now. They have. They've actually stopped listening to the fucking podcast for me to read out mine because you took half an hour and had a story for everyone.
But the thing is, if you go onto the Patreon, Mike has decided to pin the post about his tour and not anything anything to do with the podcast because he's a selfish cunt.
Yeah, that was it. I felt like even
So the first thing, you go on our Patreon for the podcast, you can see it. Just go on and be like, oh, what's on the podcast? Mike's, who's this? Who's Mike?
Listen, I'm doing my date.
They don't even know who you are.
Shut up. So, anyway, these are dates for Hull. There's fuck all going on there. Buy tickets to that. Maybe you will cancel that. Leeds going grand. More people buy. Manchester sold out. Glasgow sold out. Adding shows for them. Edinburgh going grand, but buy more people. Also, just get in there because Glasgow's are making you look bad because Glasgow are so great.
Glasgow always makes Edinburgh look bad.
Yeah, it's like, come on, Edinburgh, what's going on? Newcastle, selling well. Come to that. I love you. Southampton doing grand. Bristol doing grand. Liverpool, I don't have the stats back, but it's like a 600 person room, which like...
Oh, we're doing the same room in Liverpool.
Yeah.
The big scary room, but I think it'll be all right.
Oh, it's not going to be all right for me. I don't have no stats back, but please, Liverpool people, buy the shit.
Although Liverpool fucked me in the other room in hot water that night. Paul Smith's doing a whip.
Right.
I'm like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
There's never going to have been a building where more people have been asked what they do for a living.
Yeah. Oh my
Between
god.
me and Paul.
Yeah, you do great little fucking recruitment drives, you and Paul. Just asking everyone what they do. So then Birmingham going grand, but please buy tickets. Nottingham the same. Chester. the same. All these places, tickets going, please buy them. Newry, Portrush and Oma, all 3 are probably going to be pulled. Haven't a clue. I don't know why I added those shows. Tony convinced me because you were doing them.
Portrush will be good. I never did Newry.
So they're my 3 worst selling ones by far. To be fair, I did say to Tony when she had them on, I was like, how am I going to sell tickets? Who's going to know me there? And she's like, oh no, it'll be grand. It's not grand.
It will be grand. It will be grand.
It's like 4 or 5 months away. But Newry, Oma, Portrush, come on.
Please buy tickets just now. If you're like, oh, I'll get them closer to the time. Don't get closer to the time. Just do it now.
That's right. Derry, we need more people buying them there, but it's going all right. Belfast, more people there, please. But these are all on MikeRiceComedy.com. And then Cork, Limerick, Dublin. Cork ones aren't on sale yet. They're not going to be on sale for a while because there's a whole thing going on, but that'll be grand. Dublin, we've got a few tickets left. Go in and get your Dublin ones now. And Limerick, I don't know what the stats are on that, but definitely there'll be tickets there. And Clonakilty and Cork, buy some of that. That's way too much time you're listening to us for longer dates, but we love you. On the Patreon, we're going to be talking about my last Have a Word appearance. You've got shit to talk about.
I did the Blind Boy Live podcast.
Blind Boy Live podcast.
I opened for, did my first arena show, opening for Russell Howard in Hull, no less. And I was like, anyway, I'll talk about it.
Hull hath no fury.
That's very good, actually.
Thank you very much.
That's great stuff. Patreon.com/parenting. It's just £3 a month and you get an extra episode. Isn't that fucking
Come
great?
on.
If you don't do it, you're gay.
In you
Bye.
come. Love you. Bye bye.